Hello and welcome to Weapons of a Card Shark. This video focuses primarily on a type of poker known as Texas Hold'em. The rules for Texas Hold'em can be found online or in any modern card game booklet. Be aware that these moves are applicable to any game in which cards are played for money. We're going to begin at false or blind shuffles. This is one of the first moves a cheat learns and is essential for just about every other sleight. A false shuffle is while appearing to give the deck a genuine shuffle, actually maintaining either one or more cards in the deck. A blind shuffle is when you retain every single card in the same position, before and after the move. We're going to start on overhand shuffling. Overhand shuffling looks like this. Groups of cards are taken from the right hand and dropped onto the left hand, just like this. I'm going to show you a way to falsify that shuffle, and it looks like this. As you can see, the cards are still in order. Ace through king, ace through king, ace through king, ace through king. This is the explanation for the overhand blind shuffle. A blind shuffle is when it retains every card in the deck. You're going to hold the cards exactly like this, with all fingers on the face of the deck and the thumb on the back of the deck. You're going to undercut, and what that means is you're taking out about half the cards from the bottom of the deck, just like this. Then you're going to pull off one card at a time, exactly like this, with the left thumb onto the left-hand packet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Then on the next throw, you're going to throw this entire pack onto the pack in your left hand, but you're going to leave it up higher. This is called a jog. Actually, an out jog is what we're doing here. That will enable you to pick up on this lower packet by pushing up on the top packet with your middle finger of your right hand and thumb and pull up this packet. And then all you're going to do is return those 10 cards back on this stock. You're going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can tap here, it's optional. 7, 8, 9, 10. And that will make all the cards go back in their original order. Just controlling the top card in a game will give you a huge advantage. In this game, we'll say the top card is the 9 of hearts. In order to keep that on top, you can use the overhand method to retain this card at its position. It looks like this. And the card is still on top. The explanation for retaining one card on top via the overhand method is as follows. You're going to start exactly the way you would with the blind shuffle. This is actually a false shuffle, and the difference between a false and a blind shuffle is a false retains some cards in their position, but they could retain all of them. A blind strictly means keeping all the cards in their position. So once again, the 9 of hearts is on top. And what you're going to do is undercut again about half the cards. And you're going to do an in-jog this time. Last time you did an out-jog by putting these cards forward from the last cards. This time you're going to lean them back here. You can drop off one card or you can drop off a block of cards, as long as you mark the position where exactly that 9 of hearts lies. So, let's say I just in-jogged there. Then you're going to run these cards very sloppily. Another misconception about these techniques is that everything needs to look exactly perfect. A lot of people will drill you, especially on the internet, about moves not looking, perfect, but they can be sloppy. That's the point of the move. Then you're at this position once you shuffled off all the cards. You have this acts as a bookmark right here, right above your 9 of hearts. You're going to push up on that with your right thumb and get a break right there. You can see I'm holding a break here. I picked up on my in-jog, and this is where my 9 of hearts lies. Then I'm going to run these cards off into the hand until eventually I get back to where I was, get back to my break. So once again, it looks like this. You undercut about half the deck. I'm going to in-jog one card this time. You in-jog, continue running sloppily to cover up your in-jog. Pick up, right there, you're pushing up at your in-jog, and then you can just throw on top to have your 9 of hearts right on top. Now we're going to talk about controlling the bottom card using an overhand method. And it would look like this. As you can see, the 4 of spades is the bottom card right now. You shuffle like this, you're talking to everyone, no one's really paying attention. You can give it another shuffle like that. And the 4 of spades is on bottom. Another method for this is this. Shuffling the cards just like this. Once again, no one's really paying attention to what you're doing. And the 4 of spades remains on the bottom of the deck. This is the explanation for retaining a bottom card during an overhand shuffle. And once again, we'll use the 4 of spades to illustrate this idea. For the first method I showed you, you run cards fairly. You undercut, exactly like I spoke before. Undercut about half the cards. Shuffle fairly, and on the last throw, the last time you throw the cards, you're just going to place them right on bottom. So from an exposed view, you can see what exactly happens to the 4 of spades. Cards are run off the top, not disturbing the 4, and the 4 goes right on bottom. The second method I showed you is I'm actually holding back the 4 of spades when I undercut cards. And the mechanics of that are this. With your middle ring and pinky finger, you're going to apply pressure to that bottom card when you're undercutting. And once again, undercutting is pulling out, just like this. When you apply pressure, it will cause the 4 to stay with the rest of those top cards. Then you can shuffle these fairly on top of the deck. Done in sequence of 2, the illusion's very strong. So it looks just like that. Don't worry about speed. Speed is not absolutely essential to make the move good. Another method to legitimately shuffle cards is called the over-under method. That's when you're taking cards, you undercut again, you're taking cards and putting them on the top and the bottom of the cards on the left hand. It can be falsified, and this is what it looks like. It wants to be done from basically this angle, with the bottom card kind of exposed. Give it 2 shuffles. Just like that. And no cards change position in that shuffle. The way that's done is as follows. The cards are taken here. It's best from this angle because you don't want to expose what you're doing on this side, because what you're doing on this side is absolutely nothing. This is exactly what it looks like from the exposed view. You're undercutting half the cards, and you're pretending to take cards here, but you're really not. You're not dropping any cards. You're only dropping them on bottom. So what you're doing is placing the cards directly back where they came from, just from the bottom back onto the bottom. The illusion is strong because they can see these cards changing, and that's what really adds to the illusion. Another thing, a little subtlety that you can do to make this move look even better, is when you pretend to draw cards off, with your thumb, push this card up, which makes it look a lot more sloppy. Here's what that looks like. So the move looks like that, and you can see I just did the push up there to make it look like the cards are mixing, but in actuality no cards change place. One more shuffle I'm going to show you guys is another overhand under shuffle that can be falsified. A lot of people use these shuffles in combination. They'll run cards overhand fashion like this and then throw under and mix them up like that. And you can also do that, make it look really messy, but still keep the deck in its order. And it looks like this. We'll give it one more shuffle like that to retain the position of every card in the deck. Okay, this is the explanation for the combination overhand over-under shuffle. And it looks like this. You'll notice that when I did it, I was facing this way, and that's a very important thing that you want to have, because this is exactly what's happening. You're undercutting about half the deck again, and you're coming over and grabbing the packet that was originally on top with your ring finger and thumb. You're picking that up just like that. You're undercutting and picking up. As you do this, you're dropping some cards off the top of the original bottom packet. And the reason you want to be here is so you don't expose this break. This is a little bit big of a break, but that's okay, I'm explaining it. So then you come over and drop the cards from the bottom. Come over here, drop some from the top of this packet. You pretend to grab, and then throw on bottom again. That was a little fast, so I'll break it down for you again. You undercut, come back over. You're going to pick up this packet while letting some fall from the ones that are on top. Flipping this in your hand, dropping that packet, a little bit of top onto the bottom. You're just putting the bottom cards back at the bottom at this point, pretending to grab here, because if you were to actually grab, that would mix up the cards, and then throwing on bottom. So up to speed from an exposed view, it looks like this. and all the cards retain their position.